Hey guys, it's Jason here. I hope you're all well. I've just finished another Cali build, so I thought that we just put it through its paces. We're still in testing with this unit. It literally was finished yesterday. All that we've got to do is put the effects loop in this now and it's ready to go. This amp's on its way to Perth actually to be reviewed by another YouTube channel, one far more popular than mine. So I'm looking forward to seeing that actually. And then it's coming back to Melbourne here, where it's already been sold to a local player. Hey Brendan, we're nearly done with this, mate, so you'll have it soon. Just for the setup today, I've got a new piece of equipment in the studio here. This is an XFX3, which I'm sure you can see. So what I was just playing through at the beginning of the clip there, having a bit of fun, is the Cali amp. Our Cali amp obviously plugged in through the XFX. So what I'm actually doing is the guitar here, the Charvel, is coming into the front end of the X. I'm coming out one of the outputs on the X into the front end of the amp, actually through an isolation box here. I don't have any humbuster cables at the moment, so I'm just making sure that not getting any ground loops here, through an EVH hum eliminator, out of the speaker output of the Cali into the reactive load, right, which I use all the time in the studio. Probably the most useful piece of gear I got in here. Out of the reactive load, it's an XLR balance line. Out of that, it comes back into the X, into input 2, where the X picks it up again, and I've got my couple of IRs loaded in there, and then some post effects before it then goes back in through to Logic. So very cool way to set it up. I've only had the X for a week, I think, maybe a couple more days than that. But man, this thing is an amazing piece of gear. I mean, the amp modelling in it is pretty special, but the effects in it, when you're a tube amp guy like I am, love to play with my amps and love to play them through a combination of, let's call it, old technology with new technology. Perfect setup, right? So rather than just going into the front of the amp and using the X for post effects processing, and this isn't 4-cable method either, right? I'm just literally got the amp sat right in the middle of the X setup. So having the X in front of the amp, as well as obviously behind it for post amp effects and delay, reverb and delay. Having it in front of the amp means I can put a few models out in front of my favourite stomp boxes, like the good old phaser. That just sounds just so authentic, right? So the other one you've got to have out in front of the amp, of course, is the MXR Flanger. And again, this model, once you dial it in, absolutely spot on. Alright, well, if you're interested in how I've set up the Axe with my tube amp here, this is the preset. I'll just quickly whiz through it, right? So obviously input 1, the guitar's coming in here. Here's where I get the flanger. I'll just go through my settings on this, right? So my flanger and phaser settings. So this is pretty much how Ed set up his MXR from the research that I've done. So the 4 here are the four knobs on the EVH, either the stripe flanger or the original MXR, the grey one. Rate, depth and manual on about 11 to 11:30 AM, and feedback all the way up. And so this is played with the setting a bit, and it definitely replicates the settings that I use. I've got one of those Stripe series flangers, and this, it's pretty much bang on, right? Into the phaser. So again, I'm using the script 90 here, the rate about 2.8 hertz, you know, depth on 10, right, and the rest you can see. So through to this cab here, before we go into the amp, this is actually an Echoplex tape IR. So I actually did some searching around. I was trying to find whether the Axe had a model of an Echoplex preamp, but some kind soul out there has captured an IR of a real Echoplex preamp and published it out there. I think I found this on the Axe forum. Maybe I did a Google search, but I found it within, you know, 60 seconds, I reckon. Definitely warms up the signal. It's really nice, actually. So this is coming through the out. This goes into the front end of my Cali, out of the back of the Axe FX, through the Cali amp, obviously, out the speaker out, through the Sur-reactive load. An XLR output out of the Sur-reactive load is coming back in on input 2 here, back into the Axe. And then I've got, these are these ML SoundLab IRs, the Friedman 4x12. So I've got a blend here of a Greenback 25 and a V30, the 57 on this one and a 121 on the V30. It's got them slightly panned left and right, you know, just gives you a nice kind of fattens up, nice stereo spread. I had a gate there post the cab, but I had that turned off, right? That was not on in the clip. And then I'm splitting out for separate reverbs and delays. So the delays here, I'm using vintage digital, so I'm, you know, trying to effectively replicate a kind of an SDE 3000 kind of vibe, and I've unashamedly taken this setup here straight from the Andy Woods YouTube clip, where he goes through setting up 2 mono delays to replicate the Eddy thing going on. So I've got 500 milliseconds there, 375. Just at 5%, right? I find it gets a bit overpowering when you have a reverb as well. And I'm using the London plate here. I think this is all pretty much stock, other than I've just brought the level down. And I found a little trick with the Axe, because I am going through the learning curve of this thing. I found that when you split out a parallel signal like this, when you bring the reverb in and out on the bypass, your overall level changes. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know how, couldn't quite figure that out. So the trick is in bypass mode, mute it, right? So I did that, and now when I played and I bring the reverb in and out, there is absolutely no change to the overall signal level, obviously through the output. So yeah, this is cracking start for the Axe. If anyone's interested in grabbing this preset, I'm happy to share it. I'm sure you can set it up yourself based on what I've shown you. Cheers. Okay guys, this Cali's going to get finished up, boxed up, sent to Perth, reviewed, going to be sent back, and then it's going to wind its way to its new owner. And in the meantime, I'll be having a lot of fun with this new toy here. Well, it's not a toy, is it? It's a serious piece of equipment actually. But it's just fantastic to integrate the power of this thing with my amps. Lots of fun. Cheers guys.